Hey guys, George at SoundTraxx here, and today we're going to teach you how to set the chuff rate on your Tsunami2 Steam decoder. So with our new Tsunami2, one of the things we improved was the chuff timing inside the decoder. Now with our original decoders, going back to the DSDs, the LC series, and even the original Tsunami, the chuff rate internal to the decoder was a throttle-based chuff rate. And what that meant was that when the decoder was seeing a throttle speed, let's say speed step 10, the decoder would create 2 chuffs per second or whatever the case may be. That way, no matter where you went in the throttle, your chuff was in time with the commanded speed step. The problem was as your heavy trains were encountering a grade, the locomotive may physically slow a little bit, and then your chuff became off. That facilitated the need for a chuff cam. The chuff cam rides on the back of the wheel and has a physical trigger to make sure that that chuff is in time all the time. The problem with the cams is, number one, they're hard to install. Number two, they could become dirty, or 3, become damaged depending on what type of track or what you had scenic in your trains. So what we did is, with the Tsunami2, we improved this by adding a digital cam. The digital cam is actually using the back EMF to watch the rotations of the motor itself. So when you're actually setting a chuff rate, you're telling the decoder that X number of rotations of the motor equals a chuff, and the decoder does the calibration the rest of the way throughout the speed range for you. So let's see how to do that. So we're going to take this locomotive and we're going to move it here forward at about speed step 4. Now we're going to adjust CV114. CV114 is our chuff rate. So by setting CV114, we can adjust the chuff rate to match the rotations of the drivers of our locomotive. So out of the package, the default value is 57. And right now, if you watch this locomotive, you can see you're getting just about 2 chuffs, maybe 2 1/4 chuffs per revolution. And so what we need to do is we need to speed that up a little bit. So we're going to take CV114 and we're going to go ahead and about double it. Not quite double it, but just under. So we're going to set it to a value of 110. And let's watch and see how that did. It's pretty close, but it's still just a little fast. So let's drive it back a little bit. So we're going to take CV114. Let's try a value of 90. That's a value of 90. Let's see how it works. It's pretty close, but it's still just a little bit slow. So let's speed it up a little bit. So we're going to take CV114. Let's try a value of 93. That's pretty much dead on. So this value in CV114, the higher the number is a faster chuff. So throughout the speed range, your decoder is going to make sure that you're getting 4 chuffs per revolution of the driver. This goes for even if we physically stop the drivers. So let's say we're encountering a grade and our locomotive slows. Well, just out of the package, this is a stock Broadway Limited that we've done nothing but more to the tender, but add the decoder in there. So there's no cam or anything on this locomotive. So we're going to slow these drivers down, and you're going to see that the chuff chain stopped. Release it, you're going to see that it stays in time throughout the speed range. And we can accelerate this, and the chuff is going to stay in time throughout the speed range. So let's go to speed step 14. And you can see how that chuff is staying in time throughout the speed range. So as we bring it to a stop, we'll set our brakes. And that chuff is going to stay in time throughout the speed range. And that's how we've improved the Tsunami2 with our chuff. No longer do you need to install the cam or spend extra money on a cam that's going to potentially become damaged or dirty. So another way that we've improved the Tsunami2 is with the addition of our sounds of the cylinder cocks. Now the cylinder cocks will work in time again with the chuff rate. So as you increase the speed, your cylinder cocks are going to increase in speed as well. So we're going to go ahead and move the locomotive here a little bit forward. We're going to open our cylinder cocks. And as you increase the speed, you'll hear that the sound of the cylinder cock stays in time. Now you can set this automatically to start whenever you start your locomotive and run for a certain number of seconds. Or you can do it manually with the F4. But one of the advantages our cylinder cock feature allows you to do is, let's say for example your fireman isn't doing his job right and he accidentally oversaturates the steam. In other words, he puts too much water in the boiler and the dry pipe up inside the steam dome collects some of that raw water. Well, you've got to open the cylinder cocks, you're going to blow off your cylinder heads. So you can open up ours at speed whenever you need to. And one of the last features we'll show you this time around is our new cylinder blowdown. Now a lot of times after the locomotive has been taking on water, there's sometimes impurities in that water and they settle into the bottom of the boiler. You have to open the boiler valve to allow that pressure to shoot those sediments and impurities out. So by activating function 10, you're actually going to hear the boiler blowdown. And you can run that for as long as you need. The problem is the engineers don't want to do it too long because that's also fuel and energy that they're wasting and shooting out the end. So you want to make sure that's a short, quick, and purposeful open and close. Now for more information on what we've just talked about, please visit our website at SoundTraxx.com and click on the Manuals tab and check out the user's guide for the respective steam and diesel and electric versions of the decoder. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to call us at any time. Support is at extension 22, and we're an email away at support@SoundTraxx.com.